Good morning, students. Today we are going to start your second poem, Wind, as well as third poem, The Rain on the Roof. And in this same video, we will cover your movements first chapter, The Lost Child. We will only discuss summary of these two poems as well as movements first chapter. Your second poem is Wind. It's composed by Subramanya Bharti. In this poem, the poet highlights the destructive as well as the constructive aspect of the wind. How the wind is destructive as well as constructive. He says that the wind teases and makes fun of the weak persons or things. Those who are weak, those things which are kept anywhere are weak. It is destructive. The wind is destructive for all these. Wind symbolizes the difficulties that one faces in one's life. Difficulties frighten us if we are weak. Whenever any difficulty exists between all of us, we are fearing of that difficulty. If we are weak, then it will always be destructive for us. But if we are brave, when we are brave, difficulties do not harm us and disappear quietly. Difficulties do not harm us if we are brave and heavy. We can tolerate all the difficulties and pains or the sufferings, whatever we are facing. It all disappears quietly. The poet asks the wind. The poet asks the wind to blow softly and not to break the shutters of windows. You all know when the wind is very heavy, it blows very heavily, or we can say when the storm comes, it breaks the windows, doors, and it creates a lot of noise. Throws the books from the shelf and scatters them. But the wind does not listen to him. But here, the wind does not listen the poet. It throws the books, tears their pages, and brings rain. Whenever wind blows, the rain is often followed by it. The wind god makes fun of weaklings. The wind god makes fun of weaklings. Those who are weak, the wind god makes fun of it. He crushes them all. Since the wind does not listen to the poet, he advises us to be strong. If the wind does not listen us, then we should be strong enough to cope up with the situation we are facing with. We should build strong houses and strong windows. We should be strong in body and mind. If we become strong, the wind will be our friend. If we will be strong, then wind will be our friend. In this poem, poet symbolizes that we need to be strong. We need to be strong with our willpower, with our body, with our senses. In each and every aspect of life, we will have to build a strong character so that we can face each and every difficulty, situations, whatever we are going through. The wind makes fun of weak. It teases them only. But if we make friends with wind, how we can make friends with wind? By making our body strong, our willpower strong. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong so that wind becomes our friend. In the last 4 lines, the poet inspires us to face the wind. How? Courageously, with full determination. If we are facing the wind with hardship. Then wind will be our friend. Here, the poet faces the wind, which symbolizes hardship of our life courageously. He tells that wind can only extinguish the weak. Similarly, diversities deter the weak-hearted, but make strong those who have unflattering will. In such cases, befriending a wind or the hardship of life makes it easier for us to face them. This is the summary of your second poem, Wind. Now we are going to start your third poem, The Rain on the Roof. The Rain on the Roof is your third poem. It's composed by Coates Kinning. Now we are going to start the summary of this poem, Rain on the Roof. At the night, there are dark clouds that cover the sky. It rains gently and the poet lies on his cozy bed listening to the patter of the soft rain. He enjoys the sound and the melody of nature. Every tinkle on the roof echoes in his heart. He recalls the memory of his childhood. The single memory that comes to him is of his mother. Now he is in a cozy bed. He is lying in the cozy bed and thinking his old memories. That is of his mother. He pictures the face of his mother as he used to look at him as she tucked him in bed. He recalls how his mother used to tell him stories. He continues enjoying the patter of the rain on the roof. When it rains, the poet feels delighted to lie in his head pressed against a pillow of his cottage chamber bed and listening to the patter of the rain. The poet is not a child now. He's a grown-up man, but he still remembers his mother's memories. When he was very young, that means when he was child, his mother used to tuck him in the bed. Sorry. Now it is raining and he wanted to recall old memories of his mother. He wanted to enjoy the weather with his family. He thinks it is a bliss to hear the patter of rain on the roof and dream of the childhood days. He is lost in the reverie. He recalls his mother's face and feels as if his mother was fondly looking at him. He remembers how lovingly his mother used to tell him stories. His mind is flooded with his 1,000 memories. And this poem brings a rare happiness to the poet. This is the summary of your third poem, The Rain on the Roof. Now in the next video, we will cover your Movement's first chapter's summary, The Lost Childs. Thank you.